Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered about your teeth? Many of us have. Maybe they're a little crooked, maybe they're a bit crowded, maybe you've even worn braces to straighten them out. It's so common today that we barely think about it. It just seems like a normal part of growing up. But, have you ever stopped to ask why? Why do so many of us need our teeth straightened? Is there something about our modern lives that makes our teeth go all higgledy-piggledy? It's a fascinating question, and the answer involves history, biology, and even the food on your plate. It's a real dental detective story. We see advertisements for braces and clear aligners everywhere. Orthodontists are busy specialists helping people achieve that perfect straight smile. But this is a very recent thing in the grand story of humanity. For hundreds of thousands of years, our ancestors didn't have dentists, let alone orthodontists. Yet, they didn't seem to need them. To solve this mystery, we need to become paleontologists for a day. Let's travel back in time, way back. Before cities, before farms, before even written language. We're talking about our hunter-gatherer ancestors. When scientists examine the skulls of these ancient humans, they find something remarkable. They find jaws that are broad, strong, and perfectly formed. And inside those jaws, they discover teeth that are almost always perfectly straight. There's no crowding, no overbites, no crooked canines. Their wisdom teeth usually had plenty of room to grow in without causing any trouble. It's a stark contrast to what we see today. These ancient skulls are our most important pieces of evidence. They come from all over the world, from different time periods spanning tens of thousands of years. And the pattern is incredibly consistent. Hunter-gatherer populations had robust jaws and well-aligned teeth. These weren't just a few lucky individuals. This was the norm for our species for the vast majority of our existence. They chewed on tough, fibrous foods, things like wild plants, uncooked vegetables, and tough meats. This was a workout for their jaw muscles and bones every single day from a very young age. Think of it like this. If you lift heavy weights at the gym, your arm muscles get bigger and stronger. Your bones even become denser to support those muscles. The same principle applied to the jaws of our ancestors. The constant heavy-duty chewing acted as a natural growth stimulus. This intense work encouraged their jaw bones, both the upper maxilla and the lower mandible, to grow to their full, genetically programmed potential. This created a wide, spacious dental arch with more than enough room for all 32 teeth to fit in a neat and tidy row. So, the fossil record gives us a clear baseline. For millennia, humans had strong jaws and straight teeth. So what happened? If our ancestors had such great teeth for so long, what was the big change? The answer is one of the most important events in human history, the invention of agriculture, which happened around 12,000 years ago. This was when humans stopped chasing their food and started growing it. We transitioned from being hunter-gatherers to farmers. This shift fundamentally changed our diets. Instead of tough, wild foods, we began to eat softer, cultivated crops like wheat, rice, and corn. We also learned to cook and process our food in new ways. This new farming lifestyle brought about a culinary revolution. We started milling grain into flour to make bread and porridge. We cooked our meats and vegetables until they were soft and tender. We fermented grains to make beer and other beverages. Suddenly our food required much less chewing. A bowl of soft porridge is a lot easier on the jaw than gnawing on tough raw plant fibers or dried meat. While this made eating easier and allowed us to support larger populations, it had an unintended consequence for our anatomy. Our jaws were getting a vacation they never asked for. This dietary shift is not just a theory. Scientists can see it in the fossil and archaeological records. By examining the skeletons of people who lived just after the adoption of agriculture, they see a dramatic change. The bones in their jaws are smaller, lighter, and less robust compared to their hunter-gatherer predecessors. This change didn't take thousands of years. It happened relatively quickly, within just a few generations. The mechanical stress on the jaw was drastically reduced, and as a result, the bones didn't grow as large. The signal to build a big, strong jaw was gone. This brings us to a crucial concept in biology called epigenetics. This is the idea that our environment and behaviors can influence how our genes work. While the genetic blueprint for a large, robust jaw didn't disappear, the environmental triggers needed to build it were no longer present. The soft, processed food of an agricultural diet simply didn't provide the necessary workout. Our bodies, always efficient, stopped investing energy in building a heavy-duty facial structure that was no longer needed for survival. This set the stage for a dental dilemma that would affect billions of people in the future. Now we have all the pieces of the puzzle. We have our genetic blueprint, which still codes for the same number and size of teeth our ancestors had. And, yeah, we have our new, smaller jaws, a result of our softer, modern diet. So, what happens when you try to fit the same number of large teeth into a jaw that is now significantly smaller? It's a simple problem of real estate. There just isn't enough room. It's like trying to park 32 cars in a garage built for only 28. Things are going to get crowded. This crowding is the primary reason for crooked teeth. When the jaw is too small, the teeth have to compete for space as they erupt. Some get pushed forward, some get tilted backward, and others get rotated sideways. The last teeth to come in, the wisdom teeth, often have no space at all, becoming impacted and causing pain and other problems. This mismatch between tooth size and jaw size is the root cause of the malocclusion that is so widespread today. It's not that our teeth got bigger, it's that our jaws got smaller, all because we changed what we ate. This process starts in childhood. The growth of the jaw is most active when we are young. For our hunter-gatherer ancestors, kids would have been chewing on tough foods from a very early age, stimulating that crucial jaw development. Today, many children are raised on a diet of soft foods, yogurts, mashed potatoes, pasta, and soft bread. While these foods are nutritious, they don't provide the mechanical stimulation needed for the jaws to reach their full growth potential. So the shocking truth isn't really a mystery at all when you look at the science. It's a classic example of an evolutionary mismatch. Our bodies, which evolved over millions of years for a certain lifestyle, are now living in a completely different environment. Our modern world, with its soft, processed foods, has changed the physical forces acting on our bodies. The result is a face that is subtly different from our ancestors, a face with a smaller jaw that can no longer comfortably accommodate all of its teeth, leading to the crooked smiles we see all around us. This brings us to the modern era and the field of orthodontics. The reason braces and other teeth-straightening technologies are so common now is because they are a modern solution to a modern problem. For most of human history, there was no need for orthodontics because widespread crooked teeth simply didn't exist. We invented braces to fix a problem that we inadvertently created for ourselves when we changed our diet and lifestyle. It's a fascinating example of how we use technology to adapt to changes in our environment. Braces don't fix the underlying cause, the small jaw, but they do an excellent job of fixing the symptom, the crooked teeth. Beyond diet, other modern habits can also contribute to improper jaw development. Things like chronic mouth breathing, often due to allergies or stuffy noses, can change the way the face grows. When you breathe through your mouth, your tongue rests low instead of on the roof of your mouth. The tongue is a powerful muscle, and its proper resting posture helps shape a wide upper palate. Without that pressure, the upper jaw can develop to be more narrow, further reducing space for teeth. Habits like prolonged thumb-sucking or pacifier use in childhood can also exert unnatural pressures that push teeth out of alignment. So what can we learn from all this? The story of our teeth is a powerful lesson in how our bodies are not static things but are constantly interacting with and responding to our environment. Our lifestyle choices have real physical consequences that can even reshape our bones. Eating tougher, chewier foods, especially during childhood, might be beneficial for jaw development. Paying attention to proper oral posture, like breathing through the nose with the tongue resting on the palate, can also support the natural growth of our facial structure. These are not just old ideas, they are supported by our deep ancestral past. Ultimately, the journey from the straight-toothed hunter-gatherer to the brace-faced modern human is a story about ourselves. It shows how profoundly a single innovation like farming can ripple through generations to change our very bodies. It reminds us that our health is a dynamic interplay between our genes and our world. So, the next time you see someone with braces or look at your own smile in the mirror, remember the incredible story written in your jaw. It's a story of adaptation, innovation, and the amazing, ever-changing science of being human. Consider the following. Our teeth are telling us who we are and who we once were.